Okay, Chelo, what's the overview of the Supreme Court judgment so far in the country?
Like I have told certain persons who try to reach out to me, over our last decision and press conference. I tried to let them understand that the last Friday's judgment was the most fantastic, or they were the most fantastic judgments ever in the history of this country. And we want to use this opportunity to appreciate and thank the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Whether he won the election or he didn't win the election, this tribunal, this Supreme Court judgment has, given him more credibility, and Nigerians are really, really happy. And we want to thank him for not being partisan. Then again, we want to use this opportunity to draw the attention of Mr. President to the forthcoming, to the next, all these next Rivers, Ogun, and Nasarawa governorship Supreme Court judgments that are yet to come, particularly that of Nasarawa. Everybody knows that the Ambugado of Nasarawa won that election, and it is on record that the people of Nasarawa overwhelmingly voted for that young man. And if Mr. President would continue to be non-partisan, if he will continue to toe that non-partisanship line, in ensuring that the mandate of the people, the freely given mandate of the people, the validly, elected people's leader like the Ombugadu in Nasarawa is being consolidated by Supreme Court as a way of, trying to consolidate and, make sure that the Nigerian young people, really, really continue to have faith in the judiciary. And I still want to, again, tell Mr. President that in as much as Nigerians are suffering and the hardship is too much, with the level of judgment being dispensed, that was not judgment. Those things were the applicants got justice, and I believe that having listened to us when we got angry and said certain things, and we want to thank Mr. President this time, and we want to urge Mr. President that in the spirit of that, not allowing Kano to be in chaos, Zamfara to be in chaos, and Plateau, as it case may be, we want to, like, I have gone round in Nasarawa State, I have been in Nasarawa, I have gone, out of every 120 people, 19 or 18 will say they voted for Ambugadu, and everybody knows that the results are there to speak for itself. So we want to urge Mr. President to see how he will remain more non-partisan and ensure that justice is done by granting Ambugadu, because the court of first instance, did justice to this case. It was the appeal court, like the Bakachua. We know that appeal court is where people help people to get judgment, not justice. So you and I were here in this country when a sitting senator said he helped his friends who were in the National Assembly to secure judgment that were not justice. So we know that anything can happen in the course of somebody trying to secure justice. But we believe now that Mr. President, in his wisdom as a Democrat, will first of all please consider the people of Nasarawa State, the level of decay, the level of infrastructural decay, the level of maladministration in that place, and ensure that yes, this young person the people saw and are still seeing that we're going to redeem and deliver them is being given given the mandate the people validly gave to him on that governorship election day. So that is why we are calling that by tomorrow, when we are sure that the judgment will be given, that we will celebrate. If the Mr. President does this, well, all of us are going to mobilize in solidarity. We are going to say, Mr. President, well done for allowing the will of the people in Nasarawa State to be upheld by Supreme Court, because what appeal court did was just miscarriage of justice, where all of us know that that is a place where you can do anything. But the Supreme Court as the final arbiter, the final court of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where after that it's only left for you to go to God. So we believe that being the final court of law in the country, that the Supreme Court will do justice and restore peace, unity and tranquility, fairness in Nasarawa State by making sure that the Ambugadu governorship mandate that was given to him by the people of Nasarawa State is being restored. And that's why That is what we've been advocating, and that is what we feel. We just came out from National Executive Council meeting of ethnic youth leaders for peace in Nigeria now, and I've been asked to convey this message to Mr. President.
Okay, let me ask, do you think it is possible to remove a sitting governor like that of Nasarawa?
Yes, in as much as that nothing is hard, a lot of governors have been removed from office. So if you stole, if it is glaring, if it is obvious, if it is clear that somebody stole people's mandate, I don't know what you mean by when you steal. Like in my place, they say if you steal somebody something, a child something, and raise your hand up, you when the hand ache comes, you return that thing for the child, because I feel it's temporary, because the law is there, the system is there. It is, even though we suffer from a systemic problem in this country, what is certain is that the mandate of Ambugado was stolen, and the Supreme Court has all it takes to reverse that, to restore peace, unity, because in this country we have seen where governors were sacked. In Imo State, governor was removed, even though all of us, we celebrated that. In River State, somebody was removed. In a lot of, you can count with me. So there is nothing wrong in realizing that this thing was stolen, and it is handed over to the legitimate owner. That is what we're saying. The man probably won the first one, but this one, now the people saw the handwriting on the wall and decided otherwise, and said they must vote for Ambugado. So the chief judge of this country, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, has to, completely, erase the impression in everybody's mind in this country that judiciary can be bought. So let him now stand up tall and rewrite the wrongs of the past, and be able to redirect and make Nigerian people begin to see, to restore the confidence Nigerian people have already lost in judiciary. So remember, the Nigerians don't believe there is anything like court of law in this country anymore. But with what happened on Friday, if it is replicated on the issue on the one concerning Nasarawa, I think, Mr. President, I will mobilize the young people in this country. We will solidarize with the president. We will do everything, but it is on this judiciary issue. So economy will come. We will talk about that. But this is because when the real leaders who were elected by the people emerge, you see things begin to have very positive effects. But when people steal people's mandate and stay put in office, and maybe begin to use the resources of the state, as it were, begin to try to influence one or two things within the judiciary angle. So you see, that is where the anarchy, where chaos, where crisis will come. And that is why we have always said, let the right thing be done, irrespective of whose ox is God. Because we believe that the Sule of Nasarawa State didn't win that election. It is on record that everybody, just ask any little child anywhere, they will tell you that Ambugado won that election. It was like a carnival. It was like, everybody coming to say, this is what we want. And somebody is standing on somebody's mandate. It is not fair. So, Mr. President, having done the much he has done on Friday by not influencing anything, we are happy that Kano was not touched, Zamfara was not touched, particularly Zamfara, that when we noticed that they were saying inconclusive election, some of us started wondering how could vote, how could lead of margin of lead, outweigh the remaining votes that were not up to what somebody was using to lead his opponent. So thank God they have corrected. Supreme Court has corrected that anomaly. So what we're saying now is that, Mr. President, please continue to look the other way and allow the judiciary do what is right. The only thing that is right here is to grant the people of Nasarawa State their mandate, restore the mandate of Ambugado, and make sure that it doesn't matter political party anybody belongs. If anybody injures anybody, if anybody is unfairly treated, some of us will come and shout. If anybody is intimidated or oppressed, some of us will come and speak for the person. But what we're saying is that justice and injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. And to whom much is given, much is expected. Mr. President is now enjoying the mandate of the entirety of Nigerians. And we believe that when we advise Mr. President like we advised before, we try to get angry, Mr. President listen to us. So what we're saying now is that, Mr. President, please don't allow the mandate, the valid mandate of Nasarawa people given to Ambugado to be snatched away on the guise of technicality, or because everybody knows that it's APC. So if Mr. President could look the other side, let everything be done the way it should be. That is our take, and we are watching. By the time Ambugado is returned, his mandate restored, as declared by a tribunal, now all of us will come and begin to see how we'll be able to tell Mr. President, this one now, this you have done means that you are a true Democrat. But anything on the contrary, as it affects Nasarawa tomorrow or any time the judgment would come, I think it will be a miscarriage. It will be an abortion of justice. And it is not in best interest of anybody to commit abortion. So abortion now, if it is political abortion, is going to affect Mr. President, and all of us are Nigerians. What we want in this country is peace. That is why our organization is Ethnic Youth Leaders for Peace in Nigeria. So we don't need trouble. What we need is equity, fairness, and social justice. So when you do justice to everybody, there will be peace. So when people are elected and a different person takes the mandate, there will be chaos, there will be crisis. So the Nasarawa people are now arranging. They are mobilizing in their numbers to take to street, begin to destroy things, So we are now calling as mediators, we are now calling on Mr. President and the judiciary to please avert this looming crisis, this danger, this catastrophe, this chaos, this anarchy that is looming in Nasarawa State, this brouhaha that may engulf Nigeria, because Nasarawa is significant. It's a very, very significant segment of Nigeria because it's in North Central. So whatever happens in Nasarawa, it is in Abuja. And if Abuja takes over, Nigeria is automatically engulfed in a kind of catastrophic atmosphere that it will be difficult for Mr. President to control.
Okay, lastly, I need to ask you. You said that the lower courts, the verdict of the lower courts were unjustly. And that of the Nasarawa State, the lower court also have given a judgment in favor of that PDP Omogadi. So why will you describe all the judgments as unjustly?
Yeah, because we act on precedence. Yeah, like I said earlier,